Hello and welcome to Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan,
I'm Ryan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into today's movie, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over to patreon.com/Drive-In Double Feature Podcast, we got fun games, fun conversations over there just for $5 a month. You get all that bonus content, but you also help support us get rentals and things like that so we can talk about even weirder movies that are hard to find. But getting into today's movie. We are back at it again with Saw. It is time for which one? What is this one called again? Saw 6. Saw 6. Okay. Sorry, the naming gets so confusing on these over time.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Uh, but this is Saw.
Man, Nathan, you're acting so good. Like I thought you were like genuinely like
Wait, really? There's no way.
like
But this is Saw 6. This time we do have a new director on board, and that is Kevin Grittert, who is actually the editor for every Saw movie. So now the editor has become the director. But we still have the same writing team from 4 and 5. Nothing much has changed. It is still a yearly franchise. It's 2009. But I will say, if you're looking for, if you feel like Saw's gotten a little stale, it's been a downhill spiral, I'd say. Saw 6 kind of changes a little bit. It tries something new for the franchise, in my opinion, and I think it comes out to interesting results. And I gotta ask Ryan, did you watch this with a group? I always think this is funny to ask if you watched it with a group.
I watched it, yeah, with one person at
One
least. So
person?
yeah,
Okay, so you watched it with someone else. That's not too crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, this one, the budget continues to go up, cost 11 million, but they still can't get a decent actor to save their life. And it made 69 million, making it the lowest grossing Saw movie of all time, but still a hit. So this movie opens up with a trap, which is nice. Which it is a man and a woman. Man is on one side of a fence, woman is on the other side of the fence, and they have to chop off their own flesh and put it in the scale. And whoever chops off the highest weight of flesh wins this trap. Um, and I forget, does this one open with Jigsaw on the screen or Billy the Puppet?
I think it's Jigsaw.
Yeah, because so that's kind of a weird thing. Billy the Puppet's still in these movies, but I think they get more screen time with Jigsaw. They kind of cut that out, and now Jigsaw just kind of does like the videos, even which is so funny because he's dead. He's been orchestrating this whole thing for so long, but he's still got time to shoot these videos, and he planned this all out. Um, but yeah, so
Well, what if Hoffman had just had like decided like it's like no, like this whole puppet aesthetic is really stupid. Like I'm not doing that.
well,
Like
that's what's crazy because as we learn about Hoffman, he almost has like he doesn't even
his
really
own
look.
agenda.
Yeah, he doesn't really look up to Jigsaw too much. Like in the beginning, it's almost like a protege. Like, oh, I'm learning from Jigsaw. I'm learning what he wants. But in this one, they almost treat it as like Jigsaw used him as a tool, but he knew that he had ulterior motives the whole time. Because I guess
Yeah.
the question is like Hoffman was never really tested, and we talked about this in the last one, right? He just had a gun to his neck or whatever. That was it. And that wasn't really a test. He just kind of easily broke out of it. So now the question is like, what is his test? Well, this whole thing is his test. Um, but I should say that. How did you feel about this trap at the beginning with the chopping of flesh? Because I think it's funny that, of course, they get a fat guy, and it's like, oh, he's gonna chop off his own fat, which sounds horrible. Like that wouldn't be my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
So they had more than one weapon, or like more than
Yeah.
one cutting utensil, right? My thought was is like, why couldn't they just put like the cutting utensils like down the shoe and then just like, oh, you
Oh
win.
my God.
That's a pound.
I'm so stupid. I never thought of that. I'm just like them. No, you're right. They could have just took any little thing and put it in the chute.
It kind of
Uh,
broke the table or whatever. I think the
yeah.
table was wood maybe, but
Yeah, I would save that trick for the end. Like, in the last, if I thought about that in the last 10 seconds so the other guy didn't get the idea, I would start throwing crap in the chute. It's just to throw him off guard. Um, that's actually really funny. But no, she chops off her arm. And that's what's weird. So these saw traps now and through the rest of the movie put people in losing positions, which I think is I mean, we've had this before, but even more now, I feel like there's always somebody who never has the chance to win almost. Like there's always going to be someone who has to sacrifice their life. And I get that's the point later in the movie, but also it's like, well, then where are your morals that everybody deserves a chance as long as they fight for their life? Right? It feels like
Yeah,
it's a bit muddy when you get into that.
yeah. I kind of thought like I don't know, like like the whole point is like they that's how bad they want to live, and it's just like, well, you still kind of kill somebody like in this process, so it's not
Yeah.
really this whole like philosophy that you had like in the beginning of the movies. It's pretty much out the window at this point.
Exactly. But yeah, after that, we kind of get a reveal. Strom is dead. He got squished to death. Even though I think there's a fan theory that he lived, and I think that is so, I don't even know because he's literally a
Ow.
squished carcass at the end
He
of
was
this
like
movie.
he's like a yeah, he's just like a cube. He's just like a pound of he's just
Yeah,
like flesh and bone at the
it
end.
it's actually really surprising. It's really brutal right at the start of the movie with that. But now it's kind of Hoffman like covering his tracks. He's paranoid all the time. And he has the cop, the main detective from the last one, or the new detective, and then Perez returns. You remember Perez, right? You saw her and you're like, "Oh my god, my favorite character's alive."
I was even when they showed that flashback scene, I was like, wait, who?
Yeah, yeah, she was the girl who worked the Strom, and she was supposed to be dead, but she wasn't dead. She kind of hid it because nobody trusts Hoffman. Pretty much like the whole time, they are just trying to get enough clues to arrest him. They treat it like, at least in my opinion, they're treating him like, oh, you're part of the team. But it seems like they're both pretty like positive it's him.
By the way, before we get too far away,
Yeah,
I you didn't men I was waiting to see if you're going to mention that thing at the beginning of the trap. You know who that girl was?
I didn't know.
So that girl, she actually won like a reality competition called Scream Queens,
That's
which was like,
this is all coming back to me now.
so yeah, like the prize for that reality show was that they got to be in Saw,
Yeah.
and this girl that's the in the very first trap scene, she won, and like Scream Queens was hosted by Shawnee Smith, Amanda
Oh
from the movie.
wow. Oh my god. That's
So
wow, a horror icon, Shawnee Smith.
yeah, well, it's like her character's dead, so it's not like she had anything else going on. So
Well, in Saw, if you're dead, that doesn't mean you're leaving the movies because she shows up in these movies in flashback, of course. And she's like wearing a really horrible wig. Her hair looks awful.
I thought like she looks so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do with her, but yeah, she looked weird. She does like nothing. She's just like she gets a scene in where she tells Hoffman like, "Oh, who knows? You could be tested too." That's it. That's all she's really there for. Oh, sorry, actually I'm wrong. It's revealed that she was there when Jill, Jigsaw's wife's baby was killed. She was part of the reason. They're just adding so many layers to that plot point.
Like, why? Like, I mean, that's like the whole reason why he put her in the bear trap
I
was was because of that.
Yeah, well, now in just like I made a joke about this earlier. It's starting to paint Jigsaw like he's just vengeful, which I mean he kind of is. He's getting people that affected his life, but even more than ever, it's kind of like, oh, this is just vengeance, not really a lesson.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, because it turns out like Hoffman, like, basically like didn't he like blackmail Amanda to like, oh, like do you need to kill that
Yeah,
doctor lady from Saw 3?
exactly. Which is not. I highly doubt that that was a part of that storyline when they officially wrote that. But
Oh,
yeah,
no way.
yeah, because Amanda is supposed to be vulnerable in Saw 3. She's supposed to be like like that's why she killed her, because it was like almost like a jealousy thing. But now it's, oh no, she wasn't jealous. She was just paid to do that. I don't know. It just
Yeah,
it that's what's so I kind of love it personally, but I can also complain about it too. Uh,
just completely changes the character like
it's
100%.
crazy.
Like,
Yeah, they just will go back to any of the movies and be like, "Yeah, no, you thought this was it? We're changing that and this motive and that." It's just so it
you
gets
thought she
so
was deranged?
convoluted.
No, she was just under duress the whole time.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah, it's
and and then again, it's like Jigsaw's not so much omnipresent as he has been in the last ones, but there is a little bit of that here because it's like,
mhm.
oh, I know Hoffman was going to try to betray me, so I knew he would pay off Amanda, and Amanda would go through with that, and Hoffman would do all this other BS, and then just then I'm going
Mhm.
to try to kill Hoffman.
And he's doing this all after death. Yeah, because I mean, he gives Jill all these there's a box that I don't think we even mentioned. She gets a box in one of the earlier movies that has a setup and for what to do after he dies, and she gets the last folder. So he had to believe that Hoffman was going to end up at this exact point, get almost caught by the cops, because he almost gets caught, but he murders the cops in there, and then he gets put in the trap. But Jill, I guess, is not a person to make traps, because I guess to spoil it, he gets out of his trap. But I guess he cared enough to live, right?
Yeah, he really wanted to live, so that means
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. But let's get into like the real meat of this movie, I feel like, because unlike Saw 5, where Saw 5 I feel like was so unfocused with its main traps, this one puts a lot more focus on the main traps and kind of that setup of a one guy um getting to the end of a goal, right? So we have a guy who works for a health insurance company. He's actually like the president of the health insurance company, and it's so funny, like the intro scene of him, you getting introduced to everyone in the office, and like it's they make him the most sleazy person in the world, just like,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna find every loophole in these so we can make sure not to cover people. I got the
Yeah,
dog pit here, woof. He calls them the dog pit, and it's like,
yeah, like
I got this
basically,
group here that will ruin anybody's life.
we're gonna look through all their medical history, looking for anything that they could. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, sir, they didn't fill out this form correctly. Oh, deny coverage. It's like they're like, this is gonna save us hundreds of thousands of dollars right here, just this
Uh-huh.
one claim. It just, just
Yeah.
like, like, crazy, like, which I mean, like health insurance companies are kind of like messed up.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
just
they're
like,
awful. Yeah.
it's like it. And you think like, oh, they probably do think like this sometimes, just like,
Yeah, I mean, they're a business, right? Like that's the way it is. Like a
yep.
business is going to always look out to make the most money in the end.
Well, it's like this guy shows up and he's like, I'm having heart issues and I need to have like this surgery, and just like, and they're like, oh well, we can't really, we're gonna have to deny you like coverage because you had oral surgery 10 years ago and you didn't disclose that. So uh as you know, like bacterial mouth infections that can lead to heart disease. So
It's so
because of
messed
that
up.
because of that and the guy's like, you just killed me, like you're killing, like I, you literally gave me a death sentence. And
And
you know
you just got to follow the rules. Yeah. Um,
yeah, just making this guy to be like so supremely terrible.
exactly. And like they set up that Jigsaw also went to this health insurance company and got denied like an experimental cancer treatment. And
Well,
he um
no, the other thing too about that is just a like I get it that it's supposed to be like a messed up like insurance company and they're supposed to be evil or whatever, but like
uh-huh.
basically, he goes, like John goes to him, Jigsaw is just basically like, hey, like I found this new radical treatment, I'd like to do it. And he's like, and basically the guy's like, well, and insurance is not going to cover that. And if you get that, we're going to take away your coverage completely. Like, which is unheard of because,
Yeah.
like you could. I mean, because any other insurance company, like you can go get whatever care you want, but it just may or may not be covered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what where that comes from, but I guess that's this mean insurance company, which is crazy because they seem to be friends. Even though I'd be creeped out by Jigsaw, because I mean they meet at like a dinner party, and the guy is like, I came up with this calculation based on how healthy a person is, and if we can cover them. And Jigsaw's like, well, did you calculate the will to live? It's like, what? I would be so like weirded out. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, they're both weirdos. I mean, like who would like
Yeah,
actually sit around and think about like, oh, like I need to figure out like how like if I can cover this person, like how close to death they
it's
are.
true. It's true.
And
And it's silly. I kind of like the social commentary a little bit. I think it adds a little spice to the movie. I guess it's something different because we haven't gotten anything like that.
it's a very for me it was a breath of fresh air because it was just
Yes.
kind of like because I was getting a little over like
Hmm.
the over complicated like jigsaw like lore, which is like his backstory, and
Hmm.
I think I know everything there is to know about Jigsaw. I'm good there.
Hmm.
And this one, and before it was just like, oh well, we're just gonna put these random scumbags into like a trap or something like that, or
Hmm.
like oh well, like we got this building torn down, which means we're awful people.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and this one, it's just like no, it's like this is a social commentary, and it's actually going after like the people that are actually like really affecting society.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's like what makes this work. And I'll say it now. This is actually one of my favorite ones, which I'm so surprised to say that so late in the series. But I really feel like this was a breath of fresh air in a moment where like it was starting to like get a little convoluted. And this is still convoluted, don't get me wrong, but that core trap feeling is still there, which, I like. So he wakes up and I mean, his whole thing is that he has to choose to kill people. Like it's his choice to murder people, just like he kind of is to actual people with his job. Except for the first trap where he's against a smoker, and if he breathes, his like whole chest or stomach will be crushed. But it's like an old janitor that's a smoker. So like I swear, Jigsaw put just just gave the janitor a death sentence right
Well,
there.
yeah, like, and what did I mean? Like, he's a janitor. Like, what did he do?
Yeah, that's what's weird. They don't really say because there is in the beginning when they're showing off the people, he's like he pats the janitor on the shoulders like, yeah, this guy helps me out a lot. And that's it. Doesn't explain anything.
I mean, like, does he like just? Yeah, what is he doing exactly? Like, he just
Yeah.
the fact that he works in this building, like mopping like the floors and like cleaning out the toilets.
Hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, he's evil.
You
This
were
guy's so
you
evil.
you were complicit in all of this. You knew what was going on while you clean that toilet and you hear the phone conversations in the stall over. You know what's going down now. But then he moves on. He has the choice between he basically has to hang one person, and it's an older lady with a family and then a guy who lives alone. And this trap is takes like so much setup because there's like a little TV for both of them in front of them, and it shows a slideshow of their life. And on one slideshow is like a mom happy with her kids, and then the single guy, he's like sitting on top of a bench alone.
By himself, like looking sad and stuff. It's just, and I'm
Once
like,
it,
who took that Who took that
I
photo?
know it's so funny, all the photos. It's crazy. And of course he chooses the family. Once again, I feel like there was setup there to have him just kill that guy with those sad photos. But the idea is like he's healthy. So why would you kill someone who's worthless? They're old, they've lived their life. Let someone who can live a longer life go. That's like the choices he's making. But he decides on the somebody who cares.
Do you ever imagine like whenever I had like these work meetings and like the people do like these like big presentations with like PowerPoint and stuff like that,
Hmm.
like it never seems to work right, like right away or something like that, like when they're
Yeah.
setting it up. Like
Uh-huh.
you never like do you imagine like Hoffman's just like standing there just like, okay, let me make sure this video is playing properly
Yeah,
and
that's so fun. And what if it did mess up? Like,
yeah, just
it,
like it didn't have the sad photos. It was just says like no input detected or something like that. Like
That but Hoffman's off doing his own thing. It would just like the dude.
like it's so sad, and he's just like just staring at like a blue screen, like
Huh? What am I supposed to do with the screen? It's not
eh.
working. That would actually be really funny. But no, my favorite trap in this movie is probably the most messed up one. But like I thought it was interesting how they set it up. It's like a carousel with a gun. It's so simple. And he just the gun will always shoot no matter what on one of the six or all of the six people. And he has the choice to lift it up twice to not kill somebody, right? So like it's the setup of like who does he kill and who does he not, and all the six people are fighting over like lying, saying I'm pregnant, just trying to convince him that they're worth being alive.
Like the one girl's like, I got a family, I got little kids, and he's like, okay, fine, you're saved. And then like the one girl is just like, I'm pregnant, and like the guy's like, no, she's not. Like,
She's
no way,
lying.
she's lying.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about like that was so like it was like chaotic and it's so simple that I was like, oh, this is actually like really well designed, and I think it works so well because he uses up the two bullets and there's one guy left, so the one guy knows he's gonna end up dying, and I don't know. There's something about that was like really dark.
Well, it's just because like I guess he's like the kiss ass of the team or something
Yeah.
like that. Because he was basically just like, it's like, oh, sir, like I always looked up to you and blah blah blah. And then and
Hmm.
then as soon as he knows he's about to die, he's like, you mother, like I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, after all, I'm dead for you. You.
Yeah, just so and he's like, "You look at me when I die, or no, when you kill me." Yeah, it's really interesting. But yeah, he moves on from that. So you can already tell this setup is so much better than Saw 5. Saw Five's trap setup is so bad. It was so nice to see something interesting here.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, just because there's so many like if you just thought about it for like a minute,
Mhm.
you could you could solve the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, everybody can get in the tube. Duh.
Everyone could fit in the tube, or like instead of like us throwing a dead body into a bathtub or or whatever.
Yeah, we could have all touched each other or whatever. It's like I don't know. Here, it's like everybody set up to failure, which also, like I said, doesn't work with the morals because there's people on that carousel that have no choice in like living or not. Like they don't like there was always going to be four people definitely dead there, and like did they get to fight for their life? Not really. That was a competition of who could be the loudest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Um.
much.
But
But
anyway.
I thought I did think that trap was very creative though, and
Oh yeah.
it kind of it does kind of put them in a situation where you have to like I like you said like at the very end where the guy was just like he knew he was about to die, like he just rarely in Jigsaw, like does he actually like, oh no, you killed me type of thing.
Yeah.
It's always just like bam, they're dead type of thing. Like
Yes.
a grape.
Yeah, I like that. I like because that's what it is. It's like an actual realization that like I failed and I'm going to die. It's very like depressing. Um, but yeah, so I guess we could just like kind of go to the end of this one because I think the twist on this one is pretty good. But I actually like to ask you how'd you feel about the twist. So I guess I'll set it up a little bit. So there's a wife and a kid. One of them is Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Roderick rules. All right. Um,
I don't know what that is. I know him from Oppenheimer.
yeah, I know. Of course. The
His
kid from
famous role,
Oppenheimer.
that and his other famous role from
War
War of the Worlds.
He's so good in War of the Worlds. Yeah, this is really good training for that. Maybe one of the few people from Saw that actually appears in stuff after. That's
Right?
not in the first
Oh,
movie or
right.
the
Like
second.
who else? Who else is even in movies?
Oh, at this point, no, because I mean, like, what the first, you got Danny Glover, Gary
You
Elwes, and
got
then
Danny Glover. Yeah, yeah. You got
and then
names in there, and then the
and
second
Donnie
one you got
Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, which isn't great, but he does TV. But like after that, like in Saw 6, other than you can't even say Shawnee Smith is doing anything. Like Come
She,
on.
what do you mean? She hosted Scream Queens.
You're right. But nowadays, but yeah, I don't even know where I was going with it. But there's a mom and and a son, and the movie wants you to think that that is the insurance man's family. That's like the movie frames it in a way where it's like, oh, we're here because of your father, and wants you to think that. But come to find out, it is actually the guy from the beginning who he was like, you gave me a death sentence. That's his family. And it's I don't know. I know this reveal now. I've seen this movie multiple times, but I remember sitting in the theater and being like, oh wow, this movie really it tricked me. But I think in a good way, because we've had these movies be deceitful, but I feel like this one was framed a little bit better.
Well, you kind of get the impression that his family is in danger,
Mm-hmm.
like because they're about to die, because they're put into like a cage, and it's
Mm-hmm.
got this like acid drip going on, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
got this switch that just says live or die, and I was completely fooled. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was the insurance guy's family. I mean, I had no reason to suspect that it wasn't.
Yeah.
And when they did that, I was like, oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't mind blowing, but it was just like, oh, like I that took in a direction I wasn't aware of. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good. But his family is there, his only living, which is how she puts it
Sister.
on the phone. She's like, I'm your only family, and you're going to skip out on dinner with me? But anyway, his sister has to watch it because,
Because nobody would ever want to marry an evil man like that.
no, God, no. Um, and they have the choice. The family has the choice to kill him, and Roderick chooses to kill him because I guess it's kind of like this whole like he fought so hard to get here, but at the end of the day, someone else had the choice for his life, and they chose to kill him. So his body melts from acid.
One thing I want to say though too is one thing I did enjoy about the main victim, or the guy, or the insurance guy, was like it finally feels like it's like an actual person that actually deserves to be in this situation.
Yeah.
Because like in Saw 3, it's just like he's a dad and he's really sad that his daughter's dead.
Yeah. He's like,
Like,
your lesson is to get over it.
yeah, yeah, stop being so sad. I'm
Or
just
like Saw 4, wasn't it like you need to slow down sometimes. Don't enter doors too
right.
fast.
Yeah, like you you don't listen to, and then the fifth one, like you don't listen to direction ever. Just
Teamwork is the lesson.
like it really just felt like it was just like trying to justify like killing like nice people.
Yeah.
I like to get invested in. And this one, it was just like it's this guy, and you kind of like get the feeling that he is like a terrible person, and he's kind of going on like this journey where he's like starting to like realize his way of thinking was wrong this whole
Yeah.
time, and like
I think you genuinely can feel an arc there in a way, like that he
yeah,
does start to understand a lesson.
right. But then like you said, and you kind of, because the wife, she's just like, I can't do it. Like I want him to die, but I can't do it. Like, it's a human
Hmm.
life type of thing. But then, Roderick is just basically like, oh, I can do it, and just and just flicks it, and he's just dead. So it's just it, like it's just like you're just invested enough to like caring about like this guy, but like at the end of the
Hmm.
day, he's a terrible person still.
Exactly. So he kind of gets what is due to him almost. I mean, it wasn't his choice either. I don't know. So that ends, I guess, on the side. Mark Hoffman's caught, but he kills the people that do catch him and he breaks out of his trap. And that's how the movie ends. I think the ending is a bit odd because it breaks the series tropes. Because I think every movie before this usually ends with a tape recorder playing with the music. There's no tape recorder in this one. It's just a bit of music, and Hoffman breaks out. The reveal happens a bit earlier. The movie doesn't really end on the reveal, right? So I feel like it feels a little different in its ending, but that's just
It,
me.
it's a little abrupt because Hoffman breaks out of his trap and it almost rips his jaw off. He's got
Yeah,
like this huge hole in his face. So I I guess I would have liked maybe a little more, or maybe like something that ended a little closer, but that's just me being nitpicky.
me too.
For the most part, I really enjoyed this one a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, it's probably my favorite in the series.
Wow.
Like I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's up there. I mean, it's
Hmm.
definitely at least second place.
Yeah, no, I was excited to get to this point because I feel like in your head you were probably thinking it's getting worse and worse and worse, and I think it's weird in the sixth movie. I feel like you don't see this. The sixth time around, they end up making one of the best movies in the franchise. It's up there for me too. I think one and two are better movies, but six is a lot of fun, and I find myself returning to this one more often than others. I think it just gets a lot right. I think it gets the twist right, and I really liked how you talked about the villain, his arc, but still he was a bad guy, and I think that's a huge interesting point of this movie is just interesting characters, less focus on a convoluted plot. No, it gave me everything I wanted. I still really like this one, so I recommend this one.
Yeah, I do as well. It kind of reminds me like of the Friday the 13th arc that we did, where it was just
Yeah,
like the sixth one ended up being like one of the best ones in the whole franchise.
that is true. What was the seventh Friday the 13th again? Is that
That's that. I can't remember the subtitle, but that's with the psychic girl,
the
the
psychic girl?
telekinesis girl.
Okay. I honestly I kind of forget if I really liked that one or not. I feel like I was probably okay with it
We
then.
we were okay with it. We both agreed that the eighth one, Jason Takes Manhattan, was the worst one.
Oh yeah. Well, let's just say as we move on to the seventh one, it might not be an upward battle, but sorry, not an upward battle. It might quality might not be going up. We might just have a little spike somewhere.
You
Uh,
never know. Hey, you never
I
know.
know
I
I
mean, I
could
might.
actually like it. I've actually only seen Saw 3D one time. I've only seen it one time, so it might be time to rewatch and love it. But it,
Absolutely.
but anyway, that wraps it up on this one. Ryan, remind us what we're covering on Thursday.
Well, Nathan, we are going to be talking about Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla 2, which is streaming on the Roku channel right now.
Oh, I watch all my movies on the Roku channel. Also, how is it streaming on Roku but nowhere else? Roku just feels like the same library as Tubi. Whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever. But anyway, I'm excited to watch that one. And if you want to email us, be sure to email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. Comment, like, share, all that good stuff. But until next time.
Until next time.